welcome to Chop It Up for this Tuesday, the third Tuesday in February of 2022. I was about to
Wow.
go
You
back to
almost messed up.
2021. Almost messed up. My name is Kevin, host of the podcast. I'm here in Phoenix, and I'm gonna let my brothers introduce themselves, and we will jump into it as always.
Tari Watkins, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I need to make sure that Roger Goodell never has the Super Bowl in Dallas. Please, because we're not going to win it in our home stadium. We got to win it somewhere else because we can't seem to win there anyway. So don't get any bright ideas and bringing the Super Bowl to Dallas anytime soon because it's happened 2 years in a row. We're not going to be that one. So yeah, somewhere else, buddy. I'm just
It's
asking.
possible. It's possible. Okay. Darian Lewis, Tulsa, Oklahoma. As always, happy to be here.
Did I say enough by just my look, Darian?
Bro. He just
Making
paused.
sure you got the message.
Right. It's just like, I'm not even going to address that. Like, there's no rebuttal even needed. Just let me
None.
look up. Let me look at him real quick. Like,
Let me
really?
look at you.
That's
Yeah.
what we doing today? That's what we doing?
Yeah. Right.
So we had the Super Bowl this past Sunday.
Good game, though.
Man,
It
I could
was a
not
good
find
game.
my lokes. I was looking for my lokes. Looking for my lokes, man. I was gonna throw on a bandana, had my lokes
Listen.
on.
Oh, boy.
Nah, that was a
Actually,
good game.
I should
It was a
say
good game.
there was an amazing concert that was preceded and followed by a good game.
Yes.
The game was really good, though. I mean,
Yeah, it was a good game.
it was a good last possession. I really wanted him to drive and then get a field goal and go to overtime. That's what I really wanted because the playoffs did that. That's what I really, really wanted. But Aaron Donald decided to, play football like he always does and decided to be the man.
Now,
On
is he
fourth
going to
down.
retire? That's the question because he's
Aaron Donald?
He said that there's been reporting it's possibility that he's like, I have nothing else to achieve. I beat my body up.
They also said that McVay was going to be retiring. I'm like, dude, the dude is like 17 years old. I mean, he's not going to retire. I mean, he is not going to make seriously, people.
McVay is not about to retire. I mean,
No.
unless he's got something else he's truly looking
He's
forward
not
to doing.
going to retire. Von Miller, I can see that. Yes.
Yes.
There's a
I
few
can
of
see
them I
Von
can
Miller.
see go ahead and step on out. Like, okay, as long as we've been in the league, this is the crowning achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Oh, the dude that won. I'm sure the dude that won the Walton Payton award.
yeah.
I'm sure he's
I
going to
think
retire.
he's done. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to retire.
And then there was a guy, I forgot who it was, but I forgot. He unretired basically to join the Rams during the last 3
who was
months.
that?
And he's probably going to re-retire.
I forgot
again.
who that was.
smart move.
Yeah.
Very smart man.
Come out,
Did you
get a
hear about
ring,
the-
and go back home.
Did you see the article about the dude that won the Super Bowl? His wife was in labor. 3 hours later, he became a dad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's
pretty
a
cool.
lot of good stories around.
There
this.
were.
I mean, you can't even bypass Odell having the start to a great game. Seemingly,
yeah.
it looks like tearing his ACL,
It was either ACL or MCL. Once he went down, I'm like, he's not coming back.
but still gets that ring, which
Yes.
basically is kind of thumbing his nose at Cleveland and saying, ha,
And the
ha.
Giants.
Yeah,
And the Giants. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Now he
So
got
they-
a ring with the Giants, didn't he?
no,
They won
He
back when they
wasn't-
played Brady, bro. He wasn't even in the league at that point.
Man, I got my times mixed up.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, dude, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I thought that was
The
like
helmet
his
cap and all
rookie
that?
year.
Dude, that was back in. Dude, that's like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Man, I got my times mixed up.
Bro,
Welcome to
hey,
old
you
age.
need to take you some ginkgo biloba. What are that stuff is, bro? One a days or something, bro.
Bro, no, I need to
Make it
care
easy.
more. I need to care more. Right now, I care less.
You know what? I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. They were even saying this morning that OBJ should retire.
That's what I'm saying. He's been in the league for a minute, man.
But he hasn't been in there that long, bro.
Right.
He has not been in the league that long. Not Super Bowl with the Giants.
No.
Do you really know how long ago that was?
I'm looking.
Bro,
Yeah,
we're
he's-
I
talking
don't
like
remember.
2007, 2008.
Yeah, because he came to the league 2014, so he's only been
Oh,
in the league
okay.
7 years.
Yeah, he hadn't been in the league very long, man.
Okay.
He's only 29 years old, but I think
God, he's been around. He's just. I just remember the way he hit the league, and I think that's where my mindset is coming from.
He
The
hit
way
it
he
so
hit the
good,
league,
so quickly, and so
Yes.
young.
he blew up and stayed blown up.
Yes,
for
he did.
a minute, for a number of years, and he didn't start to wane as far as his popularity until he left the Giants.
right.
So he's what,
You
8 years now? Eight or 9 seasons? Is that what that is?
Yeah, something like that. And so
Still
now
a long career though. I mean, not for a receiver, but
Yeah,
still
he's going to be going into his 8th year.
Oh
Okay.
wow, man! It just seems
Yeah.
like he's been in for, and that's not that that's a short time, but it just seems like he's been in there longer than me. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, he has been in the league longer than you.
To me, not than me. Oh, it's another Tuesday. Okay, I see. Okay, I see now.
I love
Yeah.
you, D. I love you, D.
No.
You know that.
That's him.
I'm just
all
messing with you,
good.
bro.
It's
I'm
all
just messing with you.
good. Yes,
All right,
we,
so
we are
we
truly
had-
family now. Thank you. All right. Yes.
So the halftime show, which we'll talk about where you place that, right? But the halftime show was, I think, short of nothing. Just phenomenal.
It's what I expected it to be,
You had 50 hanging upside down like a bat in a cave,
which I thought was amazing. Just like the video, which I thought was
Yeah.
amazing.
and it was a surprise. It was a nice surprise.
And so was Anderson Paak.
Yeah, Anderson Paak on the drums, killing it.
Killing it. Dude, I don't know who their bass player is though, but I was feeling his vibe all night long, bro.
I'm wondering if it's Anderson Paak's band.
Oh, they were killing it, bro. Killing it.
Which that would make sense.
It would make sense.
And
whatever.
then you have Mary J killing it. You have Eminem kneeling. You have Dr. Dre reminding y'all, I can play the piano too.
I don't know.
Still, you mean
I don't know if
still.
y'all saw some of the tweets. Questlove.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness, Questlove tweeted. He said I was so shocked that Dre knew his way around a piano. I missed Eminem kneeling.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Like, yeah, no one expected him to actually be able to play.
Right.
Wait.
I mean, dude, this has been playing for I don't know how. I mean, since it was a what?
No, there's a huge difference between a programmer
Right.
and a keyboardist.
But didn't he mess around on the keys when they first started anyway? I mean, I'm not saying he was like playing Juilliard or anything.
He was a programmer.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. He still knew his way around the keyboard a little bit.
I am answering your question.
Yeah. I don't think that it was a surprise because I don't think we've ever seen that from him. If
The
you,
only-
even
yeah.
back, he was basically, let me take a record, let me mix it up, down, do whatever with it, and create something out of that.
You had a lot of
drum
single
track, what have you.
sounds. Yeah, you had a lot of single sounds. You didn't have a whole lot of chording.
I don't know where, because when I saw him playing, I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I knew he could. I mean, seriously, that's literally what I thought.
So HL says he plays
Okay,
chords.
okay, playing chords. Okay, you take somebody off the street, they just can't play chords unless they know their way around a keyboard or a piano somewhere.
Right.
That's
And that's
all
what
I'm-
shocked everybody.
That's all I'm saying.
I
I'm
know,
not saying that.
I can play Glamour.
It sounded like you were saying that he never played the keyboard ever, and you saw it and you were shocked because he was playing.
No, I was shocked that he was courting.
That it didn't shock me. I mean,
I was
minority.
surprised.
It
I
didn't
was
shock me.
impressed. Maybe that surprise is probably not a good word. Impressed is definitely a word.
Yeah.
I've been around the process enough to know when you hear hip hop tracks, you rarely hear chording unless it's already been sampled. And Trey is not known for chord progressions.
Hey, Dre, if you listen to just realize I'm the one out of these three that respected your talents more than they did. So just let you know that. I respect what you got, bro.
If he accidentally stumbles on this show, I promise you, he's gonna
Double
say
accidentally.
whatever.
right.
Like, who the heck is? How
If
does
he's
get on
scrolling
my-
through, right. Who are these dudes?
Who's this Yahoo? I don't
And
know
who's
this
that
dude.
dark dude, greasy in the dark over there?
Hey, again, as long as you ain't ashy, that's all that matters. You're
Listen,
not
Or
yes,
ashy.
nappy.
we've
Oh,
agreed
it's
that dark and what was it, dark and glistening, is much better than dark, ashy, and nappy.
And nappy.
Shout out to Kevin Durant.
Now, if you happen to slide
zing,
through,
zing.
bro,
Okay,
we got some phone numbers. We can hook you up, man. We
Oh,
okay.
got you.
we can come up with a
We
straight
got
comb
you.
too if you need it.
We
Listen,
got you.
Katie, you need a hot comb? I got you, bro.
some Murray's,
Hey,
some Murray's pomade.
Listen,
hey,
listen. He can get all that for free.
tell you,
Listen,
man,
we'll find a box of S curl for him.
dude,
I
shoot.
don't
Let me
care.
go get a. I go get a jar of Blue Magic in a minute, bro. What are you talking about, man?
I'm done.
That Johnson's and Johnson's oil
Hey,
sheen.
or some sporting waves. Hey, what we got?
Listen,
New wave. I mean, I'll even throw in a couple of do rags for you, bro. The stretchy
hey,
kind, the non-stretchy kind, the
Listen,
satin
y'all
kind.
done,
What kind you got,
you done offered him a whole Sally's.
bro? I know your mama got some old pantyhose somewhere. Take them old pantyhose and tie them in a knot.
listen.
Something, bro.
Mama Durant did not help him out.
Not even
Not,
close.
not at this point.
I mean, this dude, take some cocoa butter and rub it in there. Something to
Actually,
get
he
them
just
lock
needs to.
some locking.
He might need to take a bath in cocoa butter just because it'll help the
said
hair as
bath
well as the
And
ashiness.
cocoa butter. He just need to soak and marinate. Is that what you're saying?
Listen,
Come out looking like a rotisserie chicken.
all right, y'all remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer buttered himself up and then was out there trying to get a tan?
Yes, crispy.
Cooked
Yeah.
himself.
KD
Literally.
coming out the bathtub, something like. But he moisturized though. Hey, that'll work.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right, so I think we would all agree that this is top 4, top 5 of the halftime shows. For me, it's up there with Prince, Michael, Bruno, and then there's this one.
Yeah, I'll say top five
Wow.
for sure. I say top five for sure. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
Top five.
and I'm not putting in any order behind Prince. Prince, I think, was to me my all-time favorite, and it's the iconic moment when it's raining. And
Literally
he's playing,
raining.
and he's doing Purple Rain.
Not props raining.
Oh no,
Real rain.
it's a
Yeah.
monsoon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Morris, I'm right there with you. I'm like, really? Y'all are trying to claim this halftime show?
yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. We're not giving MJ any love?
MJ's show was good.
Right. I'm putting it up there. I'm just
this
simply
brother
saying.
just showed up and stood up and they cheered for 5 minutes. He didn't even move. He's like, and everybody's going nuts. And then the show started. But yeah, it was, yeah. MJ's up there for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my top 4.
Yeah, MJ's up there for me.
I don't know if I'd have it in my top 4. And I'm not trying to be controversial. Trust me, I'm
MJ?
not. No. I'm talking about this one.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So who'd you have ahead of it? I mean, I respect that. Seriously, who'd you have?
Man.
Prince for sure, probably.
Oh, Prince number 1. Simply because he refused to not play.
yeah.
That was, when you do the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, he's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm playing.
Right. I'm doing this.
They told him don't, and he's like, no. What? No.
Right.
I'm playing. Yeah,
Right.
I'm expected to play. I'm here. Let's
Right.
play.
Right.
So Prince first, MJ second.
Okay.
Just the showmanship. I think honestly, I feel like MJ's Michael Jackson's show is actually what changed the way the level of showmanship that was expected of the halftime show.
I
It was
agree.
no longer.
I agree.
You
Because
couldn't
it was
just
nothing
do a
like-
concert anymore. Yeah.
It was nothing like it.
No, and we've had these
Wannabes.
well, I wouldn't say that, but he set the bar so high
He did.
that everybody's to me has been chasing that level of showmanship
Right.
ever since. So Bruno definitely would probably be my third.
He's up there for me. I mean, he really is up there for me, man. Oh, you
Man,
put this-
I'm going. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Go for it.
My fourth would probably be the Beyonce when she brought in Destiny's Child.
Okay.
I
You
would
know
put
how-
this one. I would put this one I'll put this one at fifth.
Okay,
Okay.
that's respectable. I mean, hey,
I'm good with it. I'm not looking down on you for that or anything.
we
Now,
can't get an
now if
honorable
you
mention for
if,
JT and JJ.
if you would put the Who up there, we'd be having problems, right?
The Who.
Now, now
the,
I will tell you my prediction. If I can just throw ahead and throw this out here, my prediction for next year is going to be a country. It's going to be a country artist, and it's going to be extremely patriotic.
You've already said it. Yep.
that doesn't surprise me.
Deeply patriotic. I mean, just like military everywhere in that whole show.
It's basically going to be the Super Bowl halftime.
It's going to be the antithesis of what we had.
Well, it's going to be the equivalent of the 2020 election, or 20. What was it? 2016. Yeah, 26. What was it?
2016?
2016 election. Yeah, where America just sprung all the way back. We're like, no, we've had a person of color for 8 years. We're going to swing all the way back to the orange Cheeto.
Now, when was Paul? Wasn't Paul McCartney sprinkled in there somewhere? Or was that before? Was that more than 10 years ago? And I remember Lady Gaga. Also, there was Katy Perry sprinkled in there. Not Lady Gaga.
Gaga was pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily put her in the. Hers was pretty good. There was a lot of controversy behind hers.
Who's again?
All right. So yeah. So
Gaga.
Okay, I'm gonna run them back as far as so we know the one that we had this year. Last year was somebody named The Weeknd. I don't know who that was.
Oh, dude. Hold on. Time out. I put Weeknd is probably in my top
-5.
150.
Okay.
Top 150.
We haven't even had one.
Exactly. We haven't had that many seasons. He's
How
in my
you
top 150.
How you gonna put him down there like we're gonna fill in the gaps as we go?
Our brother's gonna stay at the bottom for. I mean, come on, man. I literally just walked away. I can't watch it, and I usually just suffer through it sometimes just to see if it gets better. I couldn't with that one.
And it was
I
so.
couldn't.
And then before that, you had Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
That was decent.
Maroon 5,
was all right.
Maroon 5 was decent because
they were. That one was actually good.
Because they had Travis Scott, Big Boy, and
Yeah.
Georgia State University band.
That
So
one was good. I liked that one actually. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake before that.
And when he brought it to marching band, he was good on that one too.
I still won't give him credit because of what he did to Janet, but that's just me.
Janet was culpable, bro. Janet was culpable.
She was culpable,
all
but
in. But he did her dirty by backing and saying that he didn't know anything.
So I got borrowed offense on that one. I'll admit I have a borrowed offense.
And I mean a strong one.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Los. It was painful, but that's why I got up and left.
All right, and then let me go.
It was so Michael Jackson wannabe. That was the pain. Like, dude, your songs are not. They're not iconic songs. Yes, we love them, but most people didn't even know that you sang those.
Had no idea.
And then he did a Prince cover. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Wow, that's how much I don't.
I walked away, so I didn't know he did a Prince cover.
Yeah, and that was the other reason because Michael Jackson. Prince also had an issue with Justin Timberlake. There was a couple of times where he was like, when it came to Justin Timberlake.
So, yeah, I remember that.
So
he did have a problem with Justin Timberlake. Why did they have Justin do the tribute year?
Because it was in Minneapolis. It was in Minnesota.
I get that, but if you already, I don't know. I think some people, real Prince fans, would be like, "Man, that was complete disrespect."
Right. If you're gonna do it in Minneapolis and you wanted to make it a tribute to Prince, you got to bring out Sheila E. You got to bring out more.
Bring out everybody that's connected.
Exactly.
Terry and Jimmy Jam.
Yep.
Bring those folks out. Let them do the halftime show if that's what you want to do. Right. Before that, Lady Gaga, Coldplay, and that was when they had Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson. Then before that, Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott took over for Katy Perry because that was the most memorable part of that one.
That was okay.
Well, again, Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott, and then Katy Perry was also there.
Right. Oh, and by the way, Katy Perry showed up
with Left Shark, right? So of that performance, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, Left Shark, and then Katy Perry.
Wow.
No love for Katie. Sorry,
None.
Katie.
None whatsoever.
Sorry, Katie. No,
All right, who was
no,
before that?
no
Bruno
love for you.
Mars with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hadn't he done it twice?
Bruno, yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was backing up Coldplay in 2016, but he did it himself in 2014.
It was amazing, bro. I love watching him and his band, bro.
And then before that, 2013, Beyonce with Destiny's Child, and then before that, Madonna, Black Eyed Peas, The Who, and then it goes back to
How do you remember that?
basic ones. So Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney. Yeah. So
Oh, so we've been whitewashed for a while. So
yeah.
Wow.
And that that kind of plays into, because one of the things that we that of course we kind of saw was the backlash of, this is the most. There was even folks saying, where are the white people on this in this
oh my
halftime
gosh,
show?
are you
Like,
serious?
there's a guy named Eminem. Yes, I know y'all have disowned him. I know we've traded him for Candace Owens and a player to be named later, but he still technically is a white guy.
Dude, I'm not going to say where the black people of Coldplay is playing. I'm not going to say that. That's just dumb. I have no room for that ignorance. I don't have any room for this extreme nor
No.
this extreme. I don't have
Brother.
time for any of that.
Brother,
I
this,
don't.
this is America. Okay.
I don't. I get that, but
I'm
you
just
know,
saying,
hey, for the
that
past
doesn't shock
7-8 years, I'm calling a spade a spade. Let someone in my circle, not in my circle, let someone around me say that, because I've already called out people before. That's just dumb. You can miss me with that.
Yep.
Say it, and so I can either see it or hear it. It's a wrap at that point.
Here's the thing. If someone says that, I promise you they're not. I'd be shocked if they did that intentionally. Like it's so ingrained
I don't
that
care.
that their representation has to be in there, which it technically was, but because it has to be obvious of the culture.
I don't care.
Yeah, they don't. How many interviewers have come to in interviews have actually come in that light, like, so how you expected the white people to feel about it, and they literally didn't think, why would a black artist care? I'm just doing art. Why would I care how it appeals to one race or the other?
Exactly,
notice
Morris. Morris, you said it exactly right there. I mean it.
Kevin, throw that back up. I missed it.
I mean, there we go, trying to use common sense and apply it to people that don't have common
Right.
sense.
Right.
But I mean, seriously, I'm not going to flip. I mean, Tom Petty. I know who Tom Petty is, and I know maybe of some Tom Petty songs, I guess. But I'm not going to trip because it's not a performer that I care about. I'm not going to trip because it's a performer that I don't like. It's a performer.
Right.
So can we? There's a couple of things with that. Number one, we probably people of color, for lack of a better term, have been force fed other cultures. We've been forced to find a way to work with,
and the
other
flip hasn't.
cultures.
The flip hasn't. I get
because
that.
it's never been something that has to be. Everyone has to acquiesce to the reigning culture, and the problem is, at this point, there's so much, which is crazy to me, because everybody loves black culture even though they don't like black people.
Well, yeah, you can appropriate all they want to, but they don't like the people behind it, though.
Yeah, to even go along with your thing, Darian. I mean, think about it. Some of us were still grooving to Coldplay. Some of us were still grooving to who's the other one that they had there?
Maroon 5.
To Maroon 5, right?
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? Maroon 5 has some songs that slap.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
Because I like music. I like music for what it is.
Right.
Some of it I gravitate to, some of it. But so, I'm sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
No, but I mean that's the thing, is that as far as Darren, we've been force fed a lot more, so our palette as far as music is a lot more diverse.
It is.
Than if all I've known is a certain genre, because that's what is in my community. I tell the story all the time. When I was growing up, I was The area I grew up in, as far as living, was predominantly black, but I went to a predominantly white high school,
Right.
and so I got to experience everything,
Yeah.
and I could make my choices based off of that. Me and my
Hmm.
friend, we had like it was like every year we would choose a heavy metal song that was our heavy metal song. So loving an elevator, leveling up when I'm coming down. I know
Yeah,
these things, right?
yeah,
Right.
Because that was
Right.
what I was around and
Yeah.
experienced.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember growing up. Uh, so I guess in my junior high years, this was when Michael Jackson really just blew up, right?
Hmm.
And of course, boom boxes, cassette tapes,
Yeah.
and so I'm in a predominantly majority white town at the
Hmm.
time. And so anyway, we're walking around the neighborhood, still got our boom boxes and blaring Michael Jackson. Now it wasn't my boom box and it wasn't my Michael Jackson tape. And I remember this kid, we're walking around, riding our bikes, got the thing, listening to music, just being kids. And we pulled into his driveway and his dad came storming out because he heard the music, came storming out, popped the tape out and broke it in front of him.
Stop it.
Broke it like, don't you play this in music around here.
St-
Wow.
That kid never played another black
Wow.
artist again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too bad, man.
And I mean, it shaped him.
Of
Boy,
course
did
it.
it shape
Of,
him.
Oh
of
yeah.
course it did.
You know, it's-
I remember the story because I remember I was watching something with Boys to Men not too long ago, and Boys to Men, y'all remember, was huge, right? End of the Road, I'll Make Love to You, all of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've seen it with New Edition. We saw it with, and then we saw it, of course, with Boys to Men, where you have black artists that are producing music that everyone loves, but what the guys from Boys to Men were pointing out was that even though they had people, at their tour, what have you, they never reached the level of an NSYNC or Backstreet Boys because it would be different for little Sally to have a picture of Boys to Men
Right.
hanging on her wall
Right.
versus NSYNC
Right.
or Backstreet Boys hanging on their wall. It's a completely different thing. Even though the music was better by Boys to Men,
It
they were
was.
not as marketable because of that.
Even the Billboard top 50, top 25, top 100, whatever you want to call it, they even gave them that respect because they
Hmm.
deserved it. Because I think they were number one for 14 weeks straight, I think, with End of the Road. And you
More
know
than
who
Elvis, I
came up
think.
behind them and beat them? Whitney Houston did with
Hmm.
I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
And so we didn't think they were going to get dethroned for a while. And then Whitney came out with Dolly Parton's song and slayed everybody.
Hmm.
And I can't remember I don't know who the record holder was before that
I think it was
for Boys to
Elvis.
Men. I was going to say I thought it was Elvis
I
Presley.
think it was
Yeah.
Elvis.
So I mean, think about how many decades that was.
Right.
And Boys to Men's never. I mean, Boys to Men has really good music. I mean, not Boys to Men. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, Backstreet Boys never did that. In Sync,
No.
even though I have no strings attached. I'm not gonna lie. Every now and then I put that Joker on.
Hmm.
I mean, and I kick it, and because it's good stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, really, really good. But Boys to Men just never got that worldwide fame because of that.
Right.
And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's not something I'm just speculating. No, that happens. I mean, look at the Jackson Five.
Yeah.
Love Jackson Five, but don't bring little Michael or little Tito home, you know, on the bright side of the city because
Okay.
then that wasn't allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. So Moore says whether some people realize it or not, they have been listening to music heavily
Oh yeah.
influenced by. Let me correct
Yeah.
one thing that you said there, Morris. Stolen by heavily stolen, heavily influenced by black people. I'll say heavily stolen from black people. Peter Gabriel, Arnold Palmer, Hall and Oates, absolutely,
Yeah.
but
absolutely.
out of the three that he gave, I can say all three of them have given deep credit.
Yes,
They
I
have.
will say that.
Yes.
All
Yes,
three of them have
yes.
now. You don't get it from everybody
No, you
who
don't.
who sound. You can tell they bit like hard.
I know, Morris. I know you was trying to be nice. I know. That's my role on this show. Sometimes is to say the things that some of y'all don't feel like saying because
Kevin's like, I'm just going to say it
nice.
anyway. I don't care. I'm saying it.
Listen,
Yeah.
what they gonna do? Boot me off the air off of my own computer?
Right.
Hey,
was that a
I just thought
challenge?
about that. No, I just thought
challenge,
about
Kev?
that. Anytime the FBI or the NSA kicked any of us off, it was never Kevin.
Me.
You weren't the only one. You were the
Yeah,
most.
Darren's
You were the
See
most.
what I got? Where Tari go?
But yeah, I mean Peter Gabriel, Arnold Palmer, Robert Palmer,
Robert Palmer.
Hall and
That's what you
Oates.
said,
Yeah,
Honor Palmer. That's a drink.
that
That's a
Golf player.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And then you have the John Daly, which is another drink, but it's
That's a drink where you're not going anywhere after that. You're at home
okay.
for the
Is
weekend.
is Peter Gabriel American or British?
That's a good question.
He's English.
Okay.
Because the only reason why I bring that up is because that was the other thing. The English artists who crossed over into American pop, typically have a very R&B flavor, and they usually give credit to the R&B background that came from the United States.
Right. Where's Phil Collins from?
He's from England too.
Yeah. So yeah,
UK.
Same thing with him.
Yeah. So it's the Americans that.
Yeah.
No, it's
We didn't listen to Stevie Wonder. We didn't take anything from Chuck Berry.
Right.
it's the Americans.
Little Richard, Little who? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So yeah. And let's not go into the blues artists that have gotten
Let's
no
not
credit.
go to Ray Charles and let's not go into
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles Davis. Yeah, let's not go into that. So,
Yeah.
Leave all of that alone. So
well,
right.
the other controversy.
speaking of little boys, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I was about to segue. What were you about to say?
Nope. No, go ahead.
Nope.
I was
go,
being.
Go ahead, Darian.
I was being mean. Go ahead, Darian. Go ahead, Darian.
No, I was just gonna say as much blowback as we've talked about. We talked about the cultural blowback with the Super Bowl, but there's also this religious. I won't say spiritual, but a religious blowback. Probably more so than I've seen in from a Super Bowl performance in a minute. A lot of people had a lot of problems with church folks being vocal about enjoying the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, but here's. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Go ahead, Darian.
No, that's not.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bro, y'all are striking way too many nerves at me today.
I got another topic or two that'll strike a nerve or two. So go ahead.
But Ashley and I were talking about that today. Okay, is this a sign?
Be quiet, my son.
Holy Spirit's like,
Don't say it, right? Don't say it.
But Ashley and I were having that same conversation today. I'm like, there's been so many concerts out there that I knew that people enjoyed, and they were quote unquote Christians. I had no problem with it, singing the lyrics, none of it. But why this one?
Yeah.
I mean, why? I mean, I have an idea why, but
what's your idea? Because there's a few things at play in all of this right now.
Well, for me, it's a couple of things. One is just the stereotype of the music itself that I think a lot of people have problems with. Because there's still a lot of people out there that I know that have problems with Christian rap. I'm like, okay, it doesn't really matter what form of the gospel it is. I mean, do you have any problems with Striper? No. Do we not understand what rock and roll is? I mean, you don't have an issue with that?
Which that's surprising in and of itself. Striper was the sacrificial lamb of Christian heavy metal.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, you're right about that. That's one aspect for me. And then the other aspect is the whole we saw it with the NBA when they had the Malice was it the Malice at the Palace? Whatever it was. The whole thuggery stereotype. What does this depict? Degrading women. There's too much sexuality. I said, is this the first Super Bowl show that you've ever watched? I mean, serious. This has to be if this year is a year that you say that there's too much sexuality. I said, so you've never seen any other Super Bowl show? Then okay. If the answer is yeah, I've never seen one. All right,
Sexuality. This is tame.
that's
Listen,
my point.
no,
My point is
it
that
was
I'm like, this is
because
tame.
it was
Considered.
because Mary J had the thighs showing,
Boy,
and
did she
they,
ever.
they could not handle the thighs. That's
My bad.
just
I'm sorry.
Bro, there was not even a foot of thigh. Okay. Them boots was high.
It showed enough. I'm a single man. Don't forget, bro.
Hey, listen, she looked
Hey,
great.
hey,
She looked great. I
she
ain't
looked
mad at you.
amazing.
She
She looked
did. She looked
amazing.
great.
Yes.
Especially for her age. She looks wonderful. But yeah, that it's, sexualization. What?
yeah.
It's because they want to pick and choose the things that
Moore says the thighs was kicking though. Yes, yes, sir.
you pick and choose the things that you think are easy picking or low hanging fruit, but when you actually think about it and say it, you realize. Well, I realize that they're idiots. So, I mean, we already know that people have knee jerk reactions and they say things and they want to be able to take it back. Unfortunately, this stuff is recorded on social media. You can't take it back. I guarantee you, somebody screenshot it quick, fast,
But
in
you,
a hurry.
we-
So, I mean,
we're out of the era of where people used to just not like something.
Right.
That's not my
and
cup
it's
of
okay
tea.
if you
That's
don't.
not. Well, here's the thing. We've moved from that into I can't just
Demonizing.
not like it.
I
I
have to
now
explain.
have
Yeah,
to. Yeah, I have to be vehemently against it. I've got to come up with reasons why it's horrible.
right. To
I've got to say.
justify.
Yeah,
Right.
I've got to say some of the most deplorable things about it simply because I didn't have the common sense to just turn it off.
Or like I do, or was it Moore said, just go get some more nachos. I
Oh,
mean,
this is a perfect time to go fill up my plate
it's a perfect time for me to go use the bath, do whatever. I don't care.
and get ready for the second half. Yeah,
Exactly. I gotta get rid. Got my drink ready. Got my plate ready. I mean, come on,
but see,
There's been plenty of Super Bowls where I did that. Just that.
plenty. Yes,
and
it's
we'll
been.
do it. If now watch, I'll be shocked, but they're not going to pick one country artist. They're going to do this exact
Oh
same
no,
setup.
man! They're
They're
gonna
going to do this
have.
exact same setup,
You
but it's going to
already.
be all country. Garth Brooks, Faith Hill,
Oh yeah.
Tim McGraw,
It's
Brooks and
going to be
Dunn,
the. It's going to
Brooks
be
and
the.
Dunn.
It's going to be
Rascal
the
Flatts,
barbershop
everybody.
Christian quartet tour of the South.
Yeah.
They're gonna be having candy stripes. I mean, bro,
Dude, and the Gaither band is going to do.
Hey, don't hit on the Gaither band, no, bro.
No. I'm just saying they did the African American. I hate saying it like that. And national
know.
anthem.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're gonna do. Gaithers
But
are gonna
they-
do
if you
America the
notice-
Beautiful
They put them out the stadium to do that.
they put them out. What? Say it
out of the
again?
stadium.
The Black National Anthem was outside the stadium. They didn't have that inside the stadium.
It was outside the stadium. Yep,
Yeah. All right.
Not only was it outside of the stadium, it was also
recorded. Wasn't it when the pre-recorded?
I believe it was.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Because actually, it was either a day before or 2 days before, where I did on Alexa and I said gospel Super Bowl show, whatever, and it was 2 days before the Super Bowl. So yeah, it was well ahead of time.
But I'm also looking at when they said now that the players went back into so that was like what 30 minutes before the game even started.
Yeah.
It was definitely like, okay, we're gonna do this to appease.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to definitely make sure that this is separated
Yep.
from so that people don't,
Well, here's the thing: baseball doesn't even. At least baseball gives it the respect that it deserves. They do it. If I'm not mistaken, either right before or right after the national anthem, and they do it throughout the year of the especially not major league but minor league baseball, especially AAA. They do it quite often to where they'll have both, especially when they're remembering and giving honor to the Negro League. I mean, so even we've talked about baseball about how antiquated it is, but at least they're doing that. At least they're being respectful and do it either right before or right after. So I mean,
they also recognize. I think they also recognize the depths of the roots.
Yes.
Of the Negro League. The Negro League was
Yes.
huge.
Yeah.
was huge,
Yes, it was
and
filled and chocked full of talent.
yeah, and because of the era of the time, and I promise you, people are looking back like, man, if we could have those guys now,
Right,
Yeah.
right. Ballers, bro.
Yeah.
dude, up till their 50s and 60s.
Yes.
But as I am prone to point out, it's amazing that our nationalism is so ingrained in what we do when other countries are looking at us like, y'all do that before every game. Y'all got to sing y'all anthem and pledge allegiance before every game and before you go to school. What up with that? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So let me switch a little real quick.
I
Couple
love
of things.
I love
Let's,
God.
all right. So I'm gonna just
With
go
your
ahead and throw it out there.
AK-47.
So there is there is a person
Priest.
who
Oh, sorry,
is-
my bad.
oh
Go
no,
ahead.
there's a person who has a church. I think in Tennessee. I think it was. I've been to Grand Ole Opry. Christianity and
Oh yeah.
patriotism are intertwined. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, but there is a person by the name of Greg Locke who is leader of a gathering of people that professes to be a church somewhere. I think it's in Tennessee. I was gonna let it
Oh,
slide because
yes.
couple weeks ago,
I know
he
you're
made
talking
a
about.
statement that children with autism need to be delivered because it's a demonic
This
possession.
dude's loco, man.
I-
This is the same dude that said, if you wear a mask, get out of my church and go to the
Yes.
Baptist church down the road.
Yes.
He's the same one that did that. This dude has been spewing so much crap in the past 2 years. It's crazy.
And so then the latest one that I saw was he said that a woman possessed with the devil came to
Yep.
his church and told him that there were 6 other women who were witches in his church, and that the praise and worship leader of another bigger church in the area is also a witch. And I've just thought about the scripture that says, "How can Satan cast out Satan?"
So why would the witch feel the need to tell him?
How can Satan cast out Satan?
Right. So apparently the demons told him demons told him of other witches in other churches.
So
Gary, your face, bro, is try to digest that, bro.
so
I'm just trying. Yeah,
as the
I'm not
father of
connecting the
a
dots.
of a child that's on the spectrum who is doing a phenomenal job, to say that it is demonic in nature, because the Bible doesn't give that diagnosis. The Bible also doesn't give the diagnosis for a cold. The Bible doesn't give a diagnosis for the flu. Doesn't give a diagnosis for a headache. The Bible
Stop,
doesn't
Kevin.
give a diagnosis for a
Stop,
footache.
Kevin. Kevin,
So
Stop
if we're
Kevin,
going by that,
Stop
you're on
using
the
common
edge,
sense,
brother.
bro.
You're about to. You're about.
How dare you use common sense, Kev? What's
You're
wrong
on
with
the.
you?
You're on the edge again. Here we go.
Spewing that mess
so
again, Kev.
that's why again I say I the leader of a group of people that call themselves a church somewhere in Tennessee.
Man, back to the conversation that we were having when we talked about the snippets and the bite-sized chunks. When I said to you, when I said at this point anybody can say anything, and if it's passionate enough, they're going to get a following because people take whatever they hear at face value, especially if they've
Right.
never heard anything else
Right.
to contradict that.
Right.
All of a sudden it's like, well, if you say it with that much vim
Fervor.
and vigor,
Yeah.
then obviously it's true.
Right.
And God forbid it get shared and reposted, because if now I see that there's a lot of agreement to it, it has to be true.
Right.
And so the scary part is people like this will continue to get a lot of popularity, until they are publicly somehow debunked or they fall on their face in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing: he's not going to stop anytime soon, but he's probably getting more clicks and views now than he ever has been.
Because controversy will bring eyes.
It's Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. What did Jerry Jones say? Any publicity is good publicity, or something like that. As long as you're talking about me, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
Right.
And I guarantee you that's probably this dude's same mentality.
And again, he knows who he's speaking to,
Of course he does.
and
And
he
they're feeding
knows,
into it.
and they already have these thoughts and agree with him anyway. So it's just you're just confirming it, because he's the same person that said, "Y'all don't pay me. Y'all don't pay to come and hear me basically talk about Jesus. Y'all pay me to come and
Right.
hear me come and talk about the stuff that I talk about."
Right.
So he
Oh, he said
basically
that.
he said the quiet part out loud. Yeah.
He said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, he said
Yes, he did.
he said the private conversation at home all the way out loud.
All the
Yep.
way with a mic
Yep.
in front of everybody. I'm telling you.
Here's my problem with that. When you get that cocky,
That bold, bro, that's dangerous, man.
no, it's Trump ish.
It's still dangerous.
Oh no, I get it, but it's very my point is it's very Trump playbook
Yes.
because we didn't hear about this dude until after he signed on to that whole,
Right.
And again, I'm not.
They've seen it played out already. I mean, they saw a person do it and get into the White House. So if he can do it and get into the White House, then what's stopping me from doing it?
Exactly.
Well, and that's in a nutshell. To be able to tell your audience, you're idiots for following me, and they keep following you.
They do it anyway.
That's
When he literally said that I could shoot somebody in the face in the middle of the street and nobody would care. He's not wrong, though.
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Not at all. Although his days may be getting shorter as far as being on the outside, because there's a lot of things going on. I don't know if you guys have been following that investigation, but
I'm not holding my breath.
one is there were boxes of documents that were
Yep.
found down in Florida that should have been turned over to the National Archive.
Yep.
And they're concerned that some of that was sensitive
Classified?
material.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, never mind.
Then on top of that, the accounting firm that handles his stuff in New York basically said, "Yeah, we can't vouch for everything that we've said in the past with him," and they turned over at least by the count on the sheet that I saw, they turned over about 500,000 pages of documents to the attorney in New York. So.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Morris. Greg Locke is the guy who gets into arguments with people at Starbucks and threatens to punch them.
Stop it. I
About it.
did not know that. No, that is not true. No. Are you
he's the
serious?
Guy, he's the guy that he's one of those folks that accuses Starbucks of being anti-Christian because they don't have Merry Christmas on their cups, which again is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Well, not one of them, but it is among the ridiculous things I've heard.
Man, at some point, and write me, I don't care. At some point, we're going to realize no one owes us. No one owes any religious, and I use that term very.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But no one owes any religious expression anything, especially when it comes to. We just don't, as much as we want to talk about this, the Judeo-Christian foundations of the United States of America, which technically really aren't there.
It's not. No,
Yeah.
I'll say it. It's not. It was humanism, but it wasn't. The forefathers were not believers, as we would come to know
No,
them.
they were not.
They
They
were
did
humanists.
use. I mean, the Bible was the foundation for a lot of things,
Right.
Right.
and very much used, but not in the sense of trying to create a theocratic government.
Right.
That was never the intention.
Like they
It was
had
no-
Bible study at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. That was not happening. Sorry.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's a slow process, and here's why I think with Trump, we're entering into what could be kind of the last gasp of breath for this whole thing, because they are taking their time with this. They are not rushing into anything.
You can't.
They are dotting every I,
They have
crossing
to.
every T, making sure that every apostrophe is where it needs to be. They are making sure that everything is in order for this.
They have to.
Well, if it's gonna get any
Any traction?
traction if
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
stick. You just can't. You just can't throw stuff and hoping it sticks to the wall. You can't do
No.
that.
Not with him.
No. Mm-mm. The boy dodged. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I the only reason why I would disagree, and I've always said this, even with everything that he deserves, if you will, just and again, I'm not when I say that, I'm not trying to be anti-Trump as much as I'm looking at the behavior. I'm looking at
Right.
the
Right.
actions.
Right.
We've not had a president behave in this manner
Right.
before. We've had presidents, um, you know, punished, for lack of a better term, for much less,
Much less.
much
Yes.
less.
Much
Yes.
less.
And this guy has walked away. So with that said, just trying to, just looking at the behavior, looking at the actions, the only reason why I would disagree with anyone about him going um, to I could see a major fining, but I don't see any prison time. And the reason why is because on the look of the American government to the world,
Yeah.
jailing a president looks horrible.
If anything, it would be a fine, and it would be um, quote unquote probation at home. He'd
Right.
be confined to
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. He's not. He's. I mean, as much as people want it to happen, they're not going to put a former president in jail.
Yeah, they may them at the most, man. They may strip him of his former presidential
Yeah.
Benefits.
The benefits
benefits,
and Secret
and
Service and all
and
that stuff.
basically
Yeah.
just say we now turn you over to being a regular citizen with
Right.
this probationary period,
Yeah.
Now
and
his
this heavy
kids,
fine.
the kids,
It's a different story.
I think Don Jr. needs to go, and I'll say that with my chest. All right, but
I just saw just caveat. I saw just driving down the street the other day, man. I saw a brand new set of Trump flags. It's Trump. It says Trump now. So there are. I mean, when I tell you he's got a diehard faithful.
Dude, he still has people that believe that he's going to eventually be back in the office and Biden's going to be out. There's still people that believe that.
These are the same people who also think that John F. Kennedy Jr. is hiding somewhere and
Alive. And
Now
they were
listen,
waiting for him.
We've joked about
We were waiting
Tupac.
for Tupac.
We've been joking about Tupac. Listen, I'm joking about Tupac.
So am I. Yes.
Tupac dead, right?
Listen, there were some
Biggie
folks that were
dead.
like if Tupac would have popped out, that if anything could have healed the world,
Right. I'm not going to lie, bro. I would have passed out.
if anything could have brought the whole planet together, it would have been Tupac coming out.
But I mean, you have people like that were in Dallas, like he's about to appear today. We're getting ready to see John F. Kennedy Jr. today.
The place where he got shot. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's where I'm going to go back to. The place where I got shot in the head.
No. I'm sorry, not the younger one, the one that died in the airplane.
Junior,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
talking about
not JFK
Junior.
Junior,
Oh, you're
who
talking about
died in a
Junior.
plane crash somewhere
Yes.
in
They
New York.
expect him to appear in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Daddy.
No.
No.
Well, they think Daddy is alive and like on a respirator somewhere. They think he's alive, and that he's been planning this whole thing. And Junior has been faked his death so that they could all reappear with Trump to usher Trump into another term in the middle of
Was he
current term.
Wait,
But
JFK wasn't.
he wasn't
He wasn't Republican.
No, he wasn't.
Again, this is why.
Okay, Darren,
This
why
is
are we
why.
applying common sense to this? What's wrong? Why? What's
Dude, I
wrong
really
with this?
had to think. I had to think for a second. Like,
Right. When you saw me, I'm like,
All right,
Wait a minute.
and one last story I do want to get in, just because if you want to talk about crossing, dotting every I and crossing every T,
this is
a
ridiculous.
priest, a Catholic priest, resigned from the priesthood
So stupid.
because in doing all of his baptisms,
Thousands.
he said, "We baptize you in the name," and so on and so forth, when it's supposed to be, "I baptize you in the name." And so now all of those baptisms are invalid. The thousands of baptisms that he's done over the past 20, however many years, are all invalid because
Now-
he said "we" instead
is
of "I."
this a papal decree?
This is my understanding is
Yes.
that they're saying because it was done using the incorrect terminology, they are all voided.
All of them. And so, yes, they're supposed, because it's not supposed to be a collective we. It's supposed to be I, the priest, not we as a group of people, because they don't have the rights to be able to baptize somebody. So now all these kids, I guess, are going to hell because they're not baptized correctly.
Yeah, and it's here in Arizona too. So
Yeah, let that sink in.
yeah,
Wow.
Here's the thing, honestly, I
How
remember.
would he have known? I mean, how what?
No, I think he knew. He chose to do that. No, he knew. He just chose to do we instead of I, not thinking that it would be a problem.
And
Kind of like us growing up, and people say, in the
and
name of
so
the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Some say, oh, it's supposed to be Holy Ghost. If you say Holy Ghost is right, if you say Holy Ghost is wrong. I mean, there are people that I mean, y'all probably heard it, that if you said Holy Ghost, you were tripping. If you said Holy Spirit, you were tripping. And it had to be the right one. And if not, then you weren't properly baptized. Okay.
okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. This guy's bishop,
the
archbishop,
the
whatever, the
Diocese of
diocese
Phoenix. Hmm.
reprimands him and asks him for his resignation.
No,
No, he
he
voluntarily
offered it
resigned.
up
Yes.
because
So
basically
you
he's
can't
been
fix. So there's no forgiveness for a mistake, much less forgiveness of sin.
Mm.
Dude, that's a mistake. Not
Right. It's
so if you can't even forgive a mistake, then there's obviously no forgiveness of sin.
there you go using common
Like
sense
all
right
of these
there.
people, I'm just saying, I'm just looking at a priest. All of these people.
Yes.
So if you undo everything that he's done for baptisms, wouldn't that do undo everything for masses? Wouldn't that undo that
well,
undoes everything, doesn't it?
well, there's because I just looked at the because
Christenings.
they have an actual website. The Diocese of Phoenix has an actual website set up to deal with this issue and to
Yes,
get.
they do.
They have FAQs for this, right? They
Yes, they
have
do.
frequently asked questions. So they're saying that it may call into question some of the validity of the marriages too, because I guess if you're baptized, I don't understand the full Catholic faith, but if you're not baptized, then can you be married as a Catholic? I don't know and understand it. That's what I just read. But they said that other things that he did, as far as other sacraments, there was no issue with. And evidently, they brought it to his attention as of June 17th of 2021. So any baptism after that date in 2021, you're good. But if you got baptized before that, you got problems, according to the Diocese of Phoenix.
It's stupid.
So okay. So wait, 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 wait. This is
Now
where I'm messed up.
it's sneaking in.
No. This is where I'm messed up. There is a collective covering of priests who have literally committed crimes against children, and I won't go any further. There has been a collective
Mhm.
code of silence,
Yes, across yes.
Hmm.
especially in the United States.
Yes.
But one priest says one word, and y'all want to undo decades. So I keep forgetting. Yeah, I keep wanting to bring up words in the Christian faith that actually are not associated with the Catholic faith, and that is things such as faith, grace, forgiveness of sin. Though that stuff doesn't come into play with them. So yeah, the idea that a bishop can say, "Hey, you've been saying this. Yeah, we're gonna undo."
Yeah, because
Darren,
here's the
it's
thing.
no
I'm looking
different.
at this, guys. Here's the thing. This is and this there's a lot more that could be said about this, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm looking at this, and one of the questions is, can I or my child continue to receive communion? Only the baptized may receive the Eucharist. Please do not take communion until you have been validly baptized. In other words, if you were baptized by him, you've been taking communion wrong all this time. You can't take communion anymore until you get rebaptized.
So what I'm hearing is if we haven't said the Lord's Prayer correctly for forgiveness, then we're not getting into heaven. That's what I hear. If I don't say a word, I mean, we can if we apply that same logic. it make. I'm done.
There's even a question of if they need to use the same godparents.
Oh my goodness.
Listen,
That's
so
a lot. That's a man. Here's the thing: if that is if that is the direction of your faith,
mhm,
people's lives are wrecked.
yeah,
You are literally wrecking people's entire makeup of faith.
Well, here's the thing, Darren. When you think about Catholicism, it's already the foundation is already there to for people to be reliant on one person to absolve them anyway. So they're already under the quote unquote thumb of a person, and so that's already in their brain, that's in their mindset, it's already in their way of thinking. So something like this, I mean, they're already wrecked. I mean, if I want to be,
Well, I'm not
I
even.
know what you're
I get
saying,
what
I
you're
know what you're
saying.
saying,
But if
but
you
there
live
are,
in that world, if that's your direction of faith,
yes, yeah,
and someone comes to me and says to me,
hmm,
that when I got baptized at 12 and I'm 40,
hmm,
that the baptism is invalid. It doesn't matter how faithful I've been. It doesn't matter
mm-mm,
how it doesn't matter how consistent I've been
nope,
with all of the activities that I've been asked. It doesn't
nope,
matter how consistent I've been with mass.
nope,
Uh, uh, the fact that I've had the juice and the crackers or the wine and the bread,
hmm,
however whichever
hmm,
diocese does whatever they do.
yep,
Some of them do the real stuff. Some of them don't. Um, all of that, because even that's just a simple act of faith. Even for them, it's a simple
yes,
act of
it
faith.
is.
How do you undo my
You
my
can't.
faithfulness?
You
Right.
I mean,
can't.
here's the other thing. What about the people that have already passed away?
That
So
that was
now, right. So now what? They're in purgatory or straight up
So now
hell?
that,
right.
but as a surviving spouse, let's say, if I know that when I got married, my spouse had been baptized, but all of a sudden I find out that they were not baptized and they passed away due to whatever. Now I'm dealing with this in my head that I can go ahead and get baptized again because I can be valid. But my spouse, I wonder what happens to them because according to what the priest and the diocese said,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
they're just out
Like
there.
it's like if all of that has been undone and they're not baptized, I'd have to dig more into the process
Yeah.
of ascension, because I don't know what gets you into purgatory versus what gets you into heaven versus what actually just sends you straight to hell.
Why
Yeah.
not, Darian?
All right, listen, we're gonna cut it off now because we're about to have a whole other conversation.
I don't know what thoughts went through Darian's head just now, but I just saw like six go across your forehead. I'm like,
Morris
yeah.
said they basically did a Thanos on all these
Oh
Christians.
no!
All right, listen, we got to go after that. I'm sorry. listen, listen, this is it for Morris. Just comes with the uppercut today.
I am inevitable.
All right, but listen, that is it for today's episode of Chop It Up. As always, we're having the conversations that we would have in the barbershops across the country,
Oh my
bringing them
gosh.
online for your entertainment, enjoyment, edification, and just because we can. It's been a great one again. Appreciate my brothers joining me on this, and we will see you all next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
So so irreverent.